Hello, hello. What a beautiful day to inspire lives. Welcome to another episode of Finding the Unicorn in You. If you're new here, I am your host, Dr. Jaime Raygoza. Before we get into today's episode, I do want to make sure that you hit that follow or subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Go ahead and leave a 5-star review so that this podcast can be shown to other people on this platform. As you know, the last 2 weeks we have discussed how to create goals and put them into action by creating a roadmap. If you missed them, go ahead. It's not too late. Go ahead and take a look at them after this episode. They have a lot of good tips that will help you succeed in achieving your New Year's resolutions this year. Now, at the end of the day, no matter how well you plan things, life still happens and it can skew your plans. You may have some setbacks in your journey to accomplishing your goals, and that's okay. Life is not perfect, and this happens to everyone. As a matter of fact, it already happened to me. So we're on the third week of the new year, and I already experienced my first set of feels of the year. To give you some background, when I was in college, one of my best friends and I would get together a few times each quarter to support each other when we would have imposter syndrome or anxiety or depression episodes, and where we would spiral into this huge negative void. To put it lightly, we called it having the feels. You can't see me, but I'm putting little quotation marks. And that was like a little ongoing joke that we would do. Is like, hey, are you having the feels today? And then we would be like, no, but we all got the feels. To put it in a more academic context, there are known as ants, aka automatic negative thoughts. I'll explain a little bit more about this concept and today and talk about what kind of lead me to get into my feels moment and ways that I usually get out of it. First, let's understand the concept of automatic negative thoughts. Ant. We all have ants from time to time that holds us back and keeps us stuck. Ants are automatic, irrational, and unhelpful, and they can distort our perception of reality. They're a big doozy. Anything can really trigger an ant to start crawling around in our noggin of ours. But the bait that brought it to me personally was a little embarrassing. So this year I promised myself that this would be my year of self-growth, and I would push myself, place myself in an uncomfortable situation that I can endure, learn, and adapt. I really wanted to challenge myself to be the best version that I could so that I can be better equipped to help others, such as my clients, my friends, my family, whoever, whenever they needed the assistance. I've been doing pretty well, but this week I started school again. But Jaime, aren't you already a doctor? Why would you go back to school? Good question. Well, after some long thinking and consideration, I decided to go back and get a second master's in marriage and family therapy. Yeah, you heard me right. I'm going back to get my therapy licensure. So, going back to my story before I go on a tangent, I've been working on my New Year's resolutions and everything was going dandy, but I started this week by opening up my syllabus and I was shooketh. I had forgotten how much work a graduate program really is. There was a laundry list of readings mixed with articles and books for one of my classes, and I started spiraling. I thought, is this it? Am I going to freeze? Am I no longer going to be able to complete my classes? Why did I even decide to go back to school after years and years and years of studying? I am such a failure. I'm giving up before I even start. Why did I decide to do such a thing? But I went on and on and on in my head to the point where I started even questioning qualifications of my career, to like my life choices. To say the least, it got really, really bad. I let myself have a little pity party, but then I thought, okay, this cannot drag on forever. So I set a timer for 30 minutes and I just let myself, be in the mood, embrace the feels, feel what I needed to feel. Once the timer went off, I got up and got a piece of paper and started brainstorming. I told myself, what can I do to overcome this small obstacle that I'm now facing? I made a plan. I wrote it down step to step and put it into action. And now I'm back on track. This is one way that I use to get rid of my ants. However, there are multiple techniques that one can use and that I'm going to share now, which I've learned in the past. So when ants start swarming in my head and I start having the feels, like I said, the first thing I do is talk to myself out loud. I think out loud the negative thoughts and break them down. I ask myself, is this a realistic thought? Has this happened before? How can I overcome this? And by doing this, you are giving less power to the negative thoughts and allow your brain to truly process these statements. When they are stuck in your head, they tend to amplify and grow. Don't give them that opportunity. Take those suckers out of there. Really make them less important and don't give them that power. Another thing I do is reach out to a friend. I discuss what I'm going through and have them weigh in on the topic. Always have a support system and where you can help each other when you go through things like this. Studies have shown that social support is an important factor in mental well being. In fact, one study showed that individuals who have a strong social support network were less likely to experience depression and anxiety and had a better quality of life compared to those who had without a strong social support. Lastly, I try getting out of my current space and go for a walk, head to the gym, or do some type of exercise that gets my body moving. Research has shown that physical exercise improves your mood and reduces symptoms of depression and anxiety. In fact, a meta analysis of studies found that exercise was associated with a significant reduction in symptoms of depression. Authors of the analysis even suggested that exercise could be considered a natural treatment for depression. So when I get the feels, getting some physical activity can really help me get out of it. As we discussed, everyone experiences the feels, and everybody gets those little critters called ants from time to time. And it's important to have a support system in place to help us get through these difficult moments. To help you continue on your journey of self growth and well being, I've compiled a list of resources that may be helpful to you. Here are a few books on the subject of automatic negative thoughts and techniques for overcoming them. I will include all of these in the show notes, so feel free to scroll over and copy them from there, or feel free to write them down right now. So, the first book is the Cognitive Behavioral Workbook for Depression by William J. Nas. The second book is Feeling Good, The New Mood Therapy by David D. Burns. And the last book I'm going to recommend is The Anxiety and Phobia Workbook by Edmund J. Bourne. These are just a few books that you can use. There's so much content out there. There's videos, there's lectures, there's classes, there's ebooks. There's so many things out there that you can easily search from the tip of your fingers. Just hit Google, type in automatic negative thoughts and what you're feeling, and then pretty sure you can find something. Um, in addition to these resources, there are also several online support groups and communities you can turn to for support and guidance. So websites such as Talkspace and BetterHelp offer online counseling and therapy sessions, while communities like the self-improvement subreddit can provide a sense of community and support. I promise this is not an ad by any means, but these services do really help. So remember, you don't have to go through this alone. Also, I wouldn't do myself justice if I didn't add my own plugin, right? I released an online course, Overcoming Negative Thoughts, which gives you more in depth tools in how to overcome ants step by step. And it's a pretty simple, easy way to get over these automatic negative thoughts. And it's self paced. You can find it on my website at rainbowcareercoaching.com. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know, but it is available for purchase right now. Lastly, if you are struggling with these issues and or are having a crisis yourself and would like to talk to someone immediately, then there's a service for you. Please call 988. For those that you don't know, 988 is a free national suicide and crisis lifeline. It offers 24/7 call, text, and chat access to trained crisis counselors who can help people experiencing suicidal, substance abuse, and or mental health crisis, or any other kind of emotional distress. If you don't feel comfortable calling them, then reach out to a friend or to a family member or a trusted individual, someone that you feel close to that you know that you can trust and talk to them. If you really don't have anyone and you're like, I'm by myself, then reach out to me or any of these resources that I mentioned, because the minute you start talking about this, it truly gets easier. And I'm talking from experience. I have gone through depression, anxiety attacks. I've gone through so much things throughout my life, and I wish that upon no one. And please, if you can get the help, get it. Together, we can work together to overcome things such as the fuels or ants and try to live our best lives. Well, thank you again for choosing to join me this week at Finding the Unicorn in You. I hope that you found these tips and strategies helpful and that they can help you in your growth and self development. Stay tuned for more episodes. As always, I love to hear from you. If you have any comments, have stories to share, or just want to say hi, feel free to send me an email at info@rainbowcareercoaching.com. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead give me a 5-star review, hit that subscribe and follow button so that this type of information can be sent out to so many other people. I truly want to reach out as much as I can to other people so I can just really help them with their self-growth, professional development, and get more mental health tips out there for them. Thanks again, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.